And the year of retro gaming continues. If you want to check out every game that I'm intending to play this year, have a look at the blog. If you've got any ideas for ones that I've missed, let me know. Another game that I used to love playing in the arcade. Although, you gotta admit, its title is as stupid as Final Fantasy. There's nothing final about it. The console version changed a few things, most notably the removal of Guy, which kinda sucks. Not that I would actually ever use Guy, but it seemed a bit cheap to release the game with only 2 out of its 3 characters. Later on, Japan would get a re-release of the game with Guy included. But that version didn't have Cody, so you just couldn't win. The girl gang members were also turned into boys in this version. I'm guessing that was Nintendo's influence, not wanting to encourage violence against women. Anyway, the girl characters are gone, leaving the only female in the entire game acting as the damsel in distress. Equality. I reckon Hagar should really investigate the cloning machine that the Mad Gears gang apparently has, since it can spit out waves of the same people over and over again. It's really very impressive technology. Okay, so well, there's nothing really amazing about Final Fight. It's just yet another beat 'em up in the old Double Dragon mould. You move from left to right, pressing the attack and jump buttons to beat the living snot out of the baddies. I remember thinking that Hagar was one of the coolest characters ever. I mean, he's the mayor. The mayor. Imagine if the mayor of your town went on a psychotic rampage through the streets, beating up gang members into a bleeding pulp. Best mayor ever. Plus, he can do this. I used to spam this move all the time in the arcades, but I didn't actually realise that if the special move connects, it actually drains some of your health, so it's really only best to be used in emergencies. Hagar has all the big beefy moves, but Cody attacks much faster. Final Fight is more fun than Double Dragon, but it's not as fun as Turtles in Time. The problem is that even though the backgrounds change as Cody and Hagar go across the city, the gameplay really doesn't. You beat up the same handful of characters over and over again, and once you've got the hang of a few good fighting strategies, there's really not much to the game at all. I've got to admit, it's fun if you want to relieve some anger and beat the snot out of some people, but it really doesn't hold up too well due to its monotony. Once upon a time, in a faraway land called Disneyland, a princess got kidnapped by a monster. Here we go again. So, the incredible hero, in this game he's called Arthur, appropriate name for a knight, I suppose, goes to rescue the damsel, who is apparently called Princess Prin Prin. Facepalm. I've heard all of the legends about this game, how it's impossibly difficult, and how if you are insane enough to actually finish the game, you have to go and do it all over again before you can see the ending. But Contra ain't got nothing on this. The difference is, in Contra, the controls were good, and you could make your little dude do whatever you wanted him to. In Super Ghouls and Ghosts, I was fighting against Arthur's stupid jumping more than I was fighting against the monsters. There's no way to alter the trajectory of his jumps from the moment he leaves the ground. This is the kind of frustration that you might expect to find in a dodgy 8-bit game, but in the 16-bit era, it's just unforgivable. At least he can double jump, I suppose, which makes no sense whatsoever, but whatevs. Yeah, the difficulty is actually ridiculous. I only got up to the 2nd level, and that was after countless lives of trying. You know what? This game can go suck an egg for all I care. I like a challenge as much as the next guy, but in this instance, I just did not find it fun. Not at all. I really kinda enjoyed Castle of Illusion. It was a well-designed, if fairly basic platformer. You don't see it turning up in any of the Mega Drive collections in recent years, but that's no doubt due to licensing issues. World of Illusion is the sequel, and in this game, Mickey's brought someone else along. I always liked Donald more than Mickey, so, well, I chose Donald. The gameplay is fairly similar to the previous game, although this time instead of head-bonking the enemies, Mickey and Donald have a magic cape that they swish in front of them. What I loved about this game was the little nods to Disney animation over the years. For example, this world is set in the land of the Cookie Carnival, an excellent old silly symphony cartoon. And then you'll find Madame Mim from The Sword in the Stone. And this land's taken straight out of Alice in Wonderland. The graphics are lovely for a Mega Drive game. They really capture that Disney feeling. World of Illusion is short, no doubt about it. It won't take more than a day or two to complete it. But the added bonus in this one was the two-player mode, where Mickey and Donald can explore the worlds together. Sonic didn't have to worry about Disney taking his crown, but World of Illusion is a good solid game, and I'd say it still stands the test of time. In the Super Play Corner this month are a couple of articles about some Japanese RPGs, kinda popular, that came out around the same time, Dragon Quest V and Final Fantasy V. Funnily enough, neither of them were released outside of Japan back in the day, although they've since been released as remakes. Speaking of which, next month it's only one game, but it's a biggie. This could take a while. See you next time. Peace out.